To finish this study, the number 2 of the institution that did not consolidate it, we will do this last part and we hope that you are clear. The Church of God hopes that you are clear of what is being tried or pretended to be taught. Now we can proceed to the unavoidable questioning of the things and be able to separate the truth from the deceptive. So we will ask ourselves the following question. First question: does the good news of the kingdom exist in the pagan religious groups nowadays? That question is fundamental. We consider it very important because if that good news of the kingdom is not in the religious groups, whether we want it or not, it is telling us that these religious groups do not belong to God, because it is the good news of the kingdom. It is the good news that the Messiah brought. It is not possible that it be talk about other things, so we have serious problems. Second question, which we consider to be fundamental, very important, valid. Has the good news of the kingdom been proclaimed in the world? That is what we have been discussing. We have a serious problem, a problem that we cannot avoid, and is that we have detected that there is a good news and a message that did not survive, that was not developed, that the proper institution for it was not created, but other came to supplant it. How is it possible that Jesus the Messiah came to the earth, sent by God Himself, bearing a message which is the least talked about nowadays? This is fundamental, this is necessary, this questioning we believe to be extraordinary, so that we can grasp where we are heading to. We repeat again the question: has the good news of the kingdom been proclaimed in the world? It is important. Remember that several years ago assisted in my naivety and youth to a religious group. We had a pastor, between quotation marks, that in Sunday school sometimes liked to fill the crosswords. So certain Sunday when he bought the newspaper and was near him to see how he filled the crossword, and we were talking about many things, and remember that suddenly a question appeared, very interesting, that said, which was the gospel that Jesus preached? And he came and said, yes, I know this one, I'm gonna fill it rapidly, but because this I know it, I'm a pastor, he said. But when he pretends to fill the squares, they do not fit, because there were only squares to put the kingdom. But that was not what he had in mind. He wanted to put the gospel of Jesus Christ, but there were only squares to put the kingdom. So he was surprised, and it called powerfully my attention, was thoughtful. First, why did the pastor didn't knew that? Second, why was the newspaper talking about other thing? And third, because was always taught other thing. And that, with other reason, forced me to begin an unexpected journey. A journey of investigation, where I had to take all the holy cows that I had in my life and proceed to break them apart to such a point that there was none left, no belief, no doctrine, no religion, nothing was left, and decided to begin from zero to search the truth of things, a complicated and difficult journey, but it enriched me a lot. I'm bringing this situation which happened to me because it called powerfully my attention. He was surprised and ended saying that the newspaper was wrong, that was not the gospel of Jesus, but the gospel of Jesus was the gospel of Jesus Christ, and that is why we bring to collation this teaching, that situation which occurred to me. And we have a third question, which we also consider to be fundamental. The Church of God considers it to be fundamental. And the question is the following. And if supposedly that good news of the kingdom has been proclaimed to the world, why the end has not come? These three questions for us are fundamental, because the three questions gather essential elements in the understanding of nowadays activity. And if we do not find the correct answer for these questions, there is only one thing left to accept: that we are lost, that we have believed a deceit and a lie, and that we have to make a decision on this matter. Because how is it that the Messiah brought a good news of the kingdom to be preached? Why do religious groups are not preaching it? And if supposedly it has been preached to all the world, why the end did not come? Beforehand, we know that Jesus the Messiah has not lied. That is out of discussion, so all the problem passes to the religious groups. These have lied to us, and that is delicate, very delicate. We hope that you make a more pause and reflexive analysis, and you question this theme, and you can take it to a point where you find the truth. Why? Because it is worthless to show you the truth and you do not act. So as you can observe by yourselves, we find ourselves with a great lie, dressed with religious clothes, where the whole world has been led to believe that the preaches, messages, sermons, homilies, masses, and you can include other things as you like it, are the preaching of the good news of the kingdom. Look how complicated and grave this thing is, but the only thing truthful, plausible, in which are proven or corroborated facts is that nothing that they do, practice, or say is united and interlaced with the truth of God, and therefore we can categorically affirm that they do not belong to the structure of the kingdom, because Jesus the Messiah considered them thieves. This second lesson of the institution that is not consolidating, we believe, has opened or created a schism or a fissure inside the beliefs of those who have believed in another thing that is not what we have said, and must call their attention very powerfully the fact that we have found ourselves with a concealed, a hidden truth, a truth that nobody talks about, but that is there in the scriptures, that was said by the Messiah himself and executed by him. And at the same time we have discovered the religious deceit, the lie in Babel, how it has deceived half the world, and that is delicate. So the purpose of the Church of God is that you, by yourself and through the work of the Holy Spirit, allow that the scriptures speak for themselves, and not through representatives not authorized by it, and that it can show you the way of the truth. It will be your decision to follow it or not. That is a personal decision in which we will not intervene, but we consider that we must put before you the light, and you decide whether you stay where you are or decide to follow a new path, because we consider incorrect to continue with these lies, with these deceits, with these falsehoods. That is why we constantly denounce the Paulins and Pedrists, because they have their own agenda. They live from their commerce, their business, and are not interested in the health and the destiny of the church. For the Church of God, it is an extraordinary effort to bring to you this knowledge, and that you take the decisions that must be taken. Also, the Church of God invites you to visit its webpage, and the address is churchofgod.tk. There you can find some information, lectures, lessons, which you can ask by email if you are interested in studying the scriptures. We also invite you to write us to our email, the last church 7 in number, okay, gmail.com. We will wait your commentaries, your questions, your doubts, and also your approaches and questionings, and we will gladly attend your messages as far as possible. We thank you.